YouTube, what's going on? It is your boy Ron Real back with another video, man. Y'all see my boy Thomas over here with me. Got another special video for you guys. We're gonna be reviewing Old Rip Van Winkle 10 year. Thomas will be doing a straight bourbon review. I'm gonna be doing the bourbon review too, but I'll be also combining my favorite, absolute favorite cigar. I saw we were drinking this bottle. I said, man, perfect cigar for it. Padron Family Reserve 50 year. Got a special treat for you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when we're dropping content, and y'all stay tuned. All right, guys, we got a Old Rip Van Winkle 10 year. This comes out once a year. This is personally between the 10 and the 15 year. I think of all the expressions, these are usually the better of the years. It has the higher proof and it just tastes the best. All of the Van Winkle line is a wheated bourbon, which also I'm a huge fan of too. So this comes out of the Buffalo Trace distillery. So shameless plug, Buffalo Trace. If you want to send your boy something, go ahead and do so, man. We'll review it. Let the world know what we think about it, man. So I'm gonna be fixing on my cigar. I'm gonna let Thomas pour his drink, then I'll pour mine. We'll tell you about it. He'll give you a straight up bourbon review. I'm gonna give you a bourbon review too, but I'm also gonna give you the pairing review. So have at it.
Bourbon right here, man. It's got a beautiful amber color. When you think of what bourbon looks like in a glass, this is what bourbon's supposed to look like in a glass. It's got a nice medium to dark amber color. It's just gorgeous.
And for my cigar aficionados, this is the Family Reserve 50 year. Again, if you've been watching my videos, you know this is my favorite cigar. This is a 5x54, so it's closer to the Robusto size. This is definitely a more full body, full strength cigar. So I figured with the full body and full strength of this bourbon, they should complement each other. I'm excited to see what flavors I'll get together. I already know this bottle is gonna be good by itself, and this is good by itself, so it should be a good one. Let me pour myself up some too. You can't have all the fun, so.
Yeah, man.
Something that a lot of you guys may not know either. This will be a bottle that's pretty hard for most people to get their hands on, but there is a Weller line. There's a Weller Special Reserve, a Weller Antique 107, and a Weller 12 year. The Special Reserve has a green label. The 107 has a red label and the 12 year has a black label. So the only difference between the Van Winkle line and the Weller line is Julian Van Winkle and his son, they go through and hand pick the barrel. So literally this is just their pick of the Weller lineup. So if you can't get the Van Winkle line, don't stress about it. If you can pick up the Weller 107, Weller 12 year, they're both, or the Special Reserve too, they're all equally good products.
Yeah.
So, man, this is another nice one too. As I told you guys before, Padron just lays it all out on the line. There's not a lot of veins on this thing. It just looks smooth, has this milk chocolate hue to it. I've been aging this one for a while. You can see the bands are real loose on it. It's been in my humidor for a while, so I'm really excited. I know this is gonna be a good pairing. What you get on the nose?
You got a chance to hit that nose yet?
Let's see.
Man, like this nose right here is pretty good nose. It's got a nice, soft, very clean nose. Yeah, caramel.
I wouldn't think this was 107 if I was just blind nosing.
The nose way beneath the proof listed on the bottle, man.
Traditional flavors on this.
Yeah.
Vanilla, caramel,
Yeah.
oak.
Oh, you can when you smell the oak, you can taste the char oak in it. You can actually taste it through the nose of it. It's good.
So like Thomas was saying too, it's just, you know, if I was blind nosing this, I wouldn't even guess that this was an elite bottle. Again, I've smelled Weller Reserve, Weller 107, 12 year. It's true to all those. They all smell pretty close to the same. Yeah. Your 15 year is going to be 107 proof, I believe, too. The 12 year, the 20, and the 23 year are all proof down. And you know, honestly, I feel like after the 15 year, just how I was telling you guys when we did our first bourbon review, I feel like sometimes when bourbons are a little bit too old and you taste them, they just taste, the wood is just overpowering. And I feel like in the 20 and 23, in most years, it's just way too woody. So we both like bourbons that are more luscious and have more to offer than just, you know,
More
one
than just
dimensional.
wood,
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's one of the things that separates like the bourbons and the scotches from your other drinks is the complexity of it. You get the different flavors, you get the different nose, you get the body of it, and then you get the finish, and then it really separates it from the vodkas and the tequilas and things like that. It's just more complex of a drink. Just smoke.
As you guys already can see, the first draw I pulled, that smoke is already super dense. It's just hard to beat a Padron, man. You just taste it and it's just a superior product, man. So let me take a sip of this bourbon so we can chat about this.
Yeah. The taste is very true to the nose. You get the vanilla, you get the toffee, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty good with that, because even without the cigar, I can taste small hints of the tobacco. Not very strong or overpowering, but very soft, very mellow tobacco in it. It's good.
I'm gonna let y'all see these legs if I can get them to show. I can see that. I don't know how well y'all can see that clinging on the glass, but so these glasses that I'm using now, like normally, you know, you'll see people using Glencairn glasses, which are the standard for nosing and tasting bourbons and whiskeys and scotches and things like that. Today we're using the Evan Williams taster glasses. You know, I'm just a sucker when it comes to different shaped glasses, and because, you know, you'll have a glass, you know, like I like Canadian Glencairns too, and you'll pour the same drink in the glasses and you'll be surprised in how much they smell different in different glasses. So yeah.
The shape of the glass, the way it lets the alcohol fumes out the top, it really can influence the nose of the bourbon. I mean, it has a nice impact on the nose.
So this tastes good. It's, for me personally, I know this is like around the proof that Thomas likes.
Oh yeah.
It's good, but and I mean I can still get a little bit of the viscosity there.
Viscous.
Yeah.
Is that word you like to use?
Yep.
It's got a nice finish. This is more my style. The 107, you don't get that overpowering burn. You don't get those fumes to be breathing out.
It's gonna be interesting to see what Thomas scores this, because again, I agree with him. I like this bourbon, but there are some characteristics personally that I prefer. While the finish is longer than most of the bourbons you're gonna buy on the shelf, I prefer a little bit longer of a lingering finish, like the George T. Stagg that we had on the last one. The finish was longer, it was more viscous, it was just thicker. So that's the enjoyment of it. Just everybody's palate's a little bit different. Everybody enjoys different things, but hey, that's a conversation starter, and you know.
Yeah.
There's like a it tastes, it's gonna sound bad, but because it's gonna make it sound like maybe it's a young whiskey, but there's like a greenness to it, like almost like, I don't know if it's like mint, or I'm picking up on like some kind of, I don't know what the, it's like something else is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's mint. I understand what you're saying, but it's kind of green. It's not.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, because most of the time when people say green, it makes you think of something that's young and not aged, and that's definitely not the case with this.
No, it's very, very complex flavor, but I mean, the flavors are well blended. It's very, very smooth bourbon. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see if we can figure it out.
And so the cigar, like, even though I just lit it, as you guys know with Padrons, that for me, I don't think that they're very complex, but the flavors are really good and full. And this, even though I'm not that far into the cigar, I can already pick up on like the leather, the earth. There's a little bit of like a dry cocoa powder. As of right now, nothing new is forming, or no intensity is shunning out between either one of them. But again, I just started this. It could be completely different as I get further in the cigar. So.
I don't taste the greenness, but I taste more like something fruity, maybe like I don't know, some kind of dark fruit, maybe like
it's kind of weird because the taste that I'm tasting, I can smell it now too.
Maybe you're getting something different with your blend from your cigar.
Yeah, it's hard. I can't really pick it up. The caramel's kind of coming up more intensely now too.
Caramel and vanilla kind of stand out front to me.
Yeah. So this bottle, I want to say retail is around, I think it's between $60 and $75, but as Thomas knows too, on the secondary market, these things fetch big dollars. I even think the 10-year can go anywhere from $300 to $500, $600. I've seen some stores even jack it up higher than that.
I think the most I've seen a bottle like this is probably about $9.99. Somebody bought it.
This might be an unpopular opinion too, but you know, personally, would I pay secondary prices for it? No. The most I probably would even pay for this bottle, to be completely honest with you, would probably be maybe $100, $125 maybe.
I'd pay a little bit more for it. Like I say, this bottle it's got my flavors that I like. It's got the proof that I like. It's got great nose, great finish. For 107, it's very viscous. I go up to about 150 for it. To me, it's a very nice, borderline elite bourbon. I wouldn't classify it with some of the other bourbons that I've had that I qualify as elite, but this is right there borderline with it as a whole, as the nose, the body, and the finish as a whole. It's right there.
Okay, all right. I take it back. If I see the bottle for 150, it's probably gonna get bought. Okay. So. Some people are like, man, he's so hard, and I'm not being hard on it. I'm just, it's good. It's just like there are some certain my flavor profile demands more strength, and you guys know I like strong stuff, man. I like strong whiskey. I like strong scotch. I like strong cigars. I like, you know, it ain't nothing wrong with getting kicked around a little bit.
If this was 125, he'd be all over it.
Yes. Yeah. If you can find this for retail, you know,
buy it. Don't hesitate. Buy it.
And I've been drinking whiskey for a while too. There's only a couple of stores that I frequent that are pretty fair on pricing, and if I see this for $60, $70, it's a buy all day long. That's no questions asked.
No pass.
No pass.
Yeah.
Would you go 200 for this?
200 for this? I can't go 200 for this.
But you could for the stag.
Oh, stag. I mean.
Okay.
That's different though. Like I say, this right there. It's right there though. It's a level down from it. It's borderline, man. It's good. Yep. But it ain't exceptionally great.
And even for me, like when the bourbons are stronger and they're more unfiltered and stuff, like even with that, I'm even still thinking about the finish on that stag. Like even I would be sitting here talking to you now and I can still taste it. But I think when bourbons are stronger, they start offering darker notes like fig, chocolate, things like that. And I'm just not getting that from this. So. But again, I'm not trying to make it sound like this is a bad bourbon. I just feel like it's overhyped. I feel like a lot of people see the name and they're just like, oh, Van Winkle, and they just fly all over it. But if you give it a completely unbiased, realistic review, I don't think it's good, but there's a lot of bourbons that I think stand up, or if not better.
Yeah, in a blind taste test, I could probably think of 4 or 5 bourbons offhand that you would pick over this in a blind taste test.
Most of you wouldn't even be able to. Most of you probably would prefer Weller 12 over this. Honestly, you get two more years of age, and it's cheaper. And to me, it brings out, there's a smoothness, which is contradicting of what I'm saying, but there's a smoothness that I like about the Weller 12 too. This isn't rough at any means, but you can just tell when something spent more time in a barrel, and you know. It's just crazy that a name can just drive something so far. Where these two bottles, like a Weller 12 and this could sit side by side, and they're literally the same mash bill. And the 12-year has 2 more years of age, but this bottle will cost $400 or $500 more just because of the name. So
yeah, with this one, I will say, when you purchase it, part of that purchase price is for this label right here. You're not totally paying for the taste of it. I'm with him as far as it's a bit overhyped for the name, because of the name, but I still think for 107 proof, with the nose that it has, the body and the finish, it's a complete bourbon. It's got that beautiful amber color It is a complete bourbon. If you see this on the shelf and it's at a retail price,
buy it.
You gotta buy it. This is a no pass right here. It's an excellent bourbon, not up there with the elite, but it's darn good. To keep it GP.
And on top of it, like we mentioned again in the last video, this is a bottle that you don't see too often, especially at a fair price. And so I would grab it, even if it, like Thomas likes it more than me, but I would grab it and just share it with friends, man, because a lot of people aren't going to be able to get their hands on this. So you could do this, you know, try not to be selfish and buy it for other people. So I would buy this bottle, enjoy it, and then I would have, you know, a group of 3 or 4 people that I know enjoy bourbons over, and we can all just drink and, yeah.
What you getting from that cig?
You guys already know what it is. Look at that.
Look at it. Would you just look at it?
Look at it.
Look at that.
Now, this is gonna look crazy because I've had a crazy run of expensive cigars I've been smoking lately, and this is no exception to the rule. The Family Reserve 50-year runs anywhere between $25 and $30 depending on where you're buying from. I probably would try to go online. That would be your cheapest option, but again, this is a superior. The flavors they're just so full, and just the draw is perfect. The construction, you're paying for the quality of the cigar, you know. So far, this is really good. Again, I'm not gonna say I'm getting any kind of new flavors or anything like that, but it's working so far. So we'll see. My expectations of this were a little higher at first. It's not really. And that could have been my fault. I could have had the bar set way, way too high. So, but again, we got a lot of cigar left. We got a lot of whiskey. It could change. So,
yeah, the nose on this is so soft. It's so pleasant. You can have your amateur bourbon drinker sniff this and not get that whole like bitter beer face where they crowd you up and run from it. But at 107, man, this is.
And that is one of the things, like you drink some of the higher proof bourbons and you'll nose it and it'll just like, your cavities up here will just start draining, you know, it's just, but hey man, I like this stuff, so.
to each his own, man. This right here is smooth, it's good.
For you, would you consider this like a top 10 pour all time for you?
Top 10? No.
Okay.
No, it's some other stuff that I can just come off the top of my head with that I prefer.
Right.
You know, way more,
you
know.
But Buffalo Trace, like, man, they're to me personally, Thomas would probably agree with me too.
Buffalo Trace is my favorite. I mean,
they produce so much good stuff, man. You got the Van Winkle
solid
line, like you got the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, you got Rock Hill Farms, you got Hancock's Reserve, you got Blends, you got they put out so many good products, man.
That Rock Hill so underrated. We're gonna have to do a video for y'all on that Rock Hill. That, like I said. If I put this next to Rock Hill and I see them both on the shelf, I got my last 70 in my pocket, I'm going Rock Hill. Although this got that Rip Van Winkle, got the little wizard guy on the bottom, when I see those two little horses on that bottom, I'm going there. It's simple.
And that's really hard because like the Rock Hill Farms is 100 proof. And the only thing, you know, people get so caught up in age statements and stuff like that. Like this is a 10-year, you know, personally, I don't even know how long. I mean, you can just taste it has some age to it, but I don't really. It could be 10 years too. So that, like he said, that's just kind of a toss up. It's just going to depend on personal preference. For me, if it was readily available for both of them, I probably would alternate month after month after month. Like I would pick up the Van Winkle 10 one year, Rock Hill, and then I would just alternate. You couldn't go wrong with either one. You
can't go wrong with that philosophy. That's a great philosophy.
I'm gonna go ahead and ash this because it's flaking a little bit. You know, I don't want no ashes on me. So.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Not to get off topic or nothing, but we're gonna have to open some El Matili too.
You got one?
Of course I got one.
All right,
I keep one of those.
That's another product that Buffalo Trace makes but the only problem with a lot of that good stuff is just so allocated, man. Like it's just hard to find. And then when you do find it, they want to rob you for it. They just, I mean, the bottle's $40 and they want to charge you $300 and look at you with a straight face. Like
these are the facts. to this story. I was in Galveston, Texas a month ago, and we saw some 12-year,
Weller 12.
Weller 12 on the shelf. Dude have 4 bottles on the shelf. That's what, how much it retail for?
Should be, $35, maybe $40.
$3.99. $3.99. He followed me around the store, talking, you want to buy it? You want to buy it?
Store owners. I'm gonna have this moment during every review. I'm gonna get on y'all ass. Store owners. If you got good customers that are in there on a regular spending money, man, treat those people fair.
I spend $100 with you a month.
Or more.
At the end of the year when this special stuff come out.
Don't rob me, man.
Hey,
don't rob
I'm coming
me.
back.
And you can look at me with a straight face and know what you paid for it, but what you want to charge me for.
That's wrong. Crime.
Shame on you, man.
Crime.
Shame on you. I'm through the first third of this cigar. Just strictly reviewing the cigar, you're gonna get notes of cocoa, leather, earth. I'm starting to get a little bit of a cinnamon in the background too. Super tasty cigar. Y'all already know Padron construction. I'm not gonna touch this cigar, but I know I'm not gonna have to. It's a Padron. Whiskey's been good. So far the pairing is man, it's so the pairing I did with the Bullet 10-year and the Flor de la Santee is by my father. It's better than that, but at the same time, what I mean by that is these work, but the flavors aren't being intensified and there's no new flavors. You guys will see in another video I did with a Davidoff and Noah's Mill. Crazy pairing. That's not up to par with this. This cigar on its own is a standout. Like you guys know, I told you it's my favorite cigar. Not my favorite bourbon, but that's beside the point. This is still a very, very good bottle. But together, they're just not. They're not.
I ain't doing it for you.
They're not. Yeah, it's like if I grab this cigar again, or I smoke them all the time, I'll look for a different bottle to pair with. I know that this works, but I could go look for a Stag or a William Weller or something else. Probably Noah's Mill even work with this too. So
I mean, Noah's Mill work with everything, man. That is Noah's Mill. That's an excellent bottle. Excellent.
And I think the Noah's Mill helps so much because there's flavors in that
it's different flavors
that are
too.
different from most bourbons. So it offers something different when you're pairing it, where it can intertwine with the cigar and make something new.
Oh, yeah.
Where this is good, but at the same time, it's still very traditional. But it doesn't have like the backbone of like a George T. Stagg or something like that. So
yeah, he used the word traditional to describe the bourbon and its flavors. And to me, a better word than traditional, when you think of your average bourbon and the average bourbon flavors and the average bourbon profile, this is more along the lines of average vanilla, caramel, the things that most bourbon makers start with. That's what this is.
it's just a little bit more intense.
It's a little bit more intense. You can tell that the recipe that they make is a little bit better. The nose is the nose is great. To me, the nose is exceptional.
So you know how you were saying how soft it smelled and stuff too? I think the wheat is doing it. You know, most wheated bourbons I've had or wheated whiskeys, they have that softness characteristic because most of your bourbons are going to have 51% corn. You'll have rye and barley. Well, this has, instead of the rye, they use wheat instead. So this will be corn, wheat, and barley. So it offers a different profile to it. And I think that kind of is accredited to like the softness of it. So I just remember when he was nosing, he said it's so soft, and I was like, it just kind of made me think about this.
It doesn't have a very strong corn taste, but
no,
you do get the grains. Now they say you get the grains, the wheat and stuff from it, but the corn it's more of a background, more of a filler than it is a prominent taste in this bourbon, which doesn't make it bad. It's just a little different. It's good.
And the proof is probably a testament of what helps it so much. When you have most of your bourbons that are 90, 92, 95 proof, and then you get that 107, it just gives it that little edge that's needed. It gives it that little it gives it a little extra character. So I would agree with him. Higher proof bourbons, I think it's almost like if you have a good meal and you add hot sauce or some kind of sauce or something to it, it'll accentuate the flavors a little bit. So, just for you people out there, so
hot sauce, huh?
That's all I could come up with, man.
Black guy, go to hot sauce.
That's all I could come up with. Now I'm picking up a little bit more on like the it's like in the background. It's not like it's like in the birthday well no or the 17 like no like the red fruit.
I don't know if it's red fruit. I think it's like a darker fruit.
I can smell apple peel, but it's not like how it was in like the sweet wheat, how it just like came up. It's like way in the back though. Let
me see. You ever had let's see.
I'm still got like brown sugar on it too.
What's the little fruit with the little? It's a little like purple fruit.
Like dragon fruit?
No, it's purple. It's like a peach, but it's purple and it's got like more
Plums?
Yellow. Plum.
Couldn't even remember plum.
That's what it is.
Plum.
That's what it is.
That's what it is to you. I'm still going red. I'm still going apple, man. So, you know what? It's funny.
Apple's almost. It ain't no goddamn on apple.
You know what's funny? When we first started drinking, and I could just tell. So you saw how we tried 3 different bourbons the other day, and we were very close. We probably will be within 5 points of each other, I bet. But
usually,
he's gonna score this way higher than me. He's gonna be.
This is good.
It is good. It ain't elite.
I said that. He difficult, man.
All right, okay. Scale of 1 to 100. Where you going?
1 to 100.
Yep. We've already discussed before. If it's a 90 or above, we consider it an elite product on both scales. Cigars, bourbons, anything 90 and above is gonna be elite. Elite pairing, elite cigar, elite whiskey. So
the bourbons we had the other day, I'd prefer those above this bourbon. So I'm gonna go solid.
Before you say a number, this is gonna be a game changer too. So would you prefer the 1792 sweet wheat over this?
Man, that's a good question.
A $40 bottle compared to a $75 bottle.
You know what? Time out. I'm gonna go get that bottle and I'm gonna pour some in this glass so I can get a direct comparison of it. You gotta rinse that glass out, get that old flavor out of there. I'll let you know.
For future reference, I'm gonna keep a fly swatter on set too. Got the windows open, so there's like flies and stuff kind of coming around. But I'm very interested to hear his take on this because this is gonna be funny. So you have the beloved Van Winkle line, and then you have a common, or not common, but like a inferior product.
An everyday drinker. That was pretty good. That's good.
Still chugging along on this, man. Second, third, no real complexity changes or no shift changes, no change in strength either. I would go, right now I'm gonna go medium body, medium strength. So, but such a good cigar, man. If you get a chance to buy one of these, like again, birthdays, anniversaries, anything you're celebrating, something like that, get you a Padron, man. Go out and splurge a little bit and get you a superior product.
It's different. The nose on here is different. Both got very good noses. This one's way softer, way more pleasant, for lack of better words. But it's not any better. This nose right here is pretty good.
I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all my rating on this Van Winkle, and it's probably gonna be unpopular because I'm sure people will be watching and be like, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna go 85 on this.
We came up with the same thing. As you saw me mouth at 85. That's where I go. If these 2 bottles were on the shelf, I
And you're gonna save a little money too.
I don't have nothing to say about it.
You'll save a little money too. Like I said, you're gonna be drinking this. Like I said, you'll want to buy this so you can share this with friends and just say that you have a bottle of this. But I'm telling you guys, if you do find a bottle of this and you have other bourbons that you like, do a blind tasting of it. Let one of your friends pour you a couple glasses and swap them around and label it under the glass or whatever you want to do, and try them and see which ones you pick. Because I think you'll be quite surprised. I think a lot of people,
they see that
they see the label and then they automatically
wizard,
associate it's got to be better because it's Van Winkle. It's got to be so in their minds they programmed it. But if you're doing an honest review, man, it's not an elite bourbon, man.
I agree.
So you go 85 too?
85. It's good, but it's not. It's up there. It's up there. It's getting there. This particular year, maybe wasn't it? Maybe another year.
This is a 2016 to me and a lot of other people that are big bourbon people. This bottle was the highest Van Winkle 10 year since the squat bottles, the little bitty short fat bottles. And honestly, I tried the 17 and the 2018 versions, and I think this one was better. Now, with that being said, I feel like in 2016 of all the Van Winkle lineup, this was the star. Now, different years, different ones will be better. Sometimes I know people will say 20 years. For the majority though, the 15 year is synonymously known as like the year or the bottle to try to go after. And retail for 15 years around $100, but you'll see those go well over $1,000.
Yeah.
Well over.
Is it me or is that banana? I don't think I ever smelt the bourbon and been like, man, that's banana.
That's you.
That's me?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah, man, I don't get no banana on it.
That sweet banana taste smell?
Been drinking too much.
Even when I taste it, I can taste and smell banana.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
So for
That's something I didn't have. I didn't experience that last time.
We showed that last time. It's got some good legs on that one too.
Oh yeah, those legs, they dripping. They creeping. No, it may be too far away.
Even though I'm not done with the cigar yet, I told you guys what's to be expected. I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it a lot. When you get a Padron, you're gonna get a quality product. Right now, this cigar, I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 90 out of 100. This is an elite cigar.
Beginner cigar?
No.
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 Not for me.
I would, people ask me that all the time. I'll get that in comments, or people will DM me on Instagram and ask like, what do cigars recommended for beginners? By the way, if you have not seen the video I posted of my top 5 cigars for beginners, you go back in my catalog. I posted a video about the top 5 cigars I would recommend for beginners. Certain brands I would stay away from just because of like the strength and like the taste profile. People often come to me and ask what flavor cigars I recommend. And to be honest, completely honest with you guys, I don't really know. The only recommendations I would give are the cigars I see other guys smoking and tend to like, because even when I first got into cigars over 4 years ago, I never got into flavored cigars. I told you guys, my first cigar was a Maduro, and I jumped straight into a Padron 3000. I had a Libiju by my father. So I ran from the bank and jumped straight into 20 feet of water. There was no kiddie pool. There was no shallow end. I jumped head first. So I personally would say stay away from Padrones starting out. Get your palate developed. Get it to where you're familiar with tobacco. That way, when you taste a superior cigar, when you taste the refinedness and the smoothness of an aged tobacco, then you'll be ready for it. I wouldn't even recommend doing what I did. I think I've told you guys that before too. Start with a Connecticut, start with a natural wrapper, start with something a little lighter. Don't just jump off into something so, not offensive, but just something so, I don't even know the word to put, but start with something a little bit smoother, a little bit more common. So, but 9.0 for the cigar, 8.5 for the whiskey. Thomas went 8.5. So that's all we got for y'all today. Thank you again I truly want to say thank you for everybody taking the time out to watch the video. I really appreciate it. We've only been around for about 3 weeks now, but I feel like the reception that I've been getting has been really good. So again, thank you so much. You guys don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. That way you know when I'm dropping content, because I'm telling you we got a lot more in store. We're gonna be reviewing a lot of rare whiskeys. We're gonna be reviewing a lot of good cigars. We're gonna be doing a lot of good pairings. We got a long way ahead of us, and I want y'all to join me so y'all can ride with us the whole way to the top, man. And on that note, shout out to Thomas again for stopping by, man. Bourbon brother. We'll catch y'all on the next one.